Those who survive know the one more time. and Roadkill.
Me too, I'm just like you, and I need to fuck it up sometime. I'm stuck with ego trips and sex to another will buy. Sometimes I feel magic that I managed to fuck up somehow. Getting drunk, getting drunk, getting drunk. Do you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic?
I don't wanna feel this good just 'cause you called last night. I'm not that girl. I don't wanna dress up for you and be a toy. I'm not that girl. No, I'm not that girl. You got me just as long as I'm bored. Put your feelings aside, give that wild shot a try. Let's ride, no one does it better. Put your feelings aside, throw yourself out in the night. Let's ride, let's ride. Break out of your shell, meet me halfway. I'm not that girl, I'm not that girl. Make a mess, be a man. If it's hard, pretend. I'm not that girl. No, I'm not that girl. You should know I don't give in till I'm floored. Put your feelings aside, give that wild shot a try. Let's ride, no one does it better. Put your feelings aside, throw yourself out in the night. Let's ride, let's ride. I don't wanna be like you. I don't wanna do the things you do. Come this way and ride with me. Ride with me, ride with me. Put your feelings aside, give that wild shot a try. Let's ride, no one does it better. Put your feelings aside, throw yourself out in the night. Let's ride, let's ride. No, I'm not that girl, no one does it better. I'm not that girl, no one does it better. I'm not that girl.
Target acquired.
Eagle 1, first strike, you have permission to engage the target.
Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. How are we tonight? A lot of people showed up. We're gonna tell you who's here. Gorilla Biscuits was first in the chat tonight, it looks like. Let me check that out. Is that true? Wow, that's amazing. That would be amazing. Yeah, Gorilla Biscuits was first. Viking Paradigm, second in the chat tonight. Agropolis is third. Ben showing up. Effing Epic, a Helping Hound, and Arctic Timberwolf also showed up. 13 is in the house. Smoking Spaceman showed up to do some moderation duties. By the way, guys, you are weapons free on any and all of Wee Little Man's aliases. Just to let you know. Yeah. There we go. Well, Wick, I did not catch that, but the leftists always get wrecked on Tim Pool for the most part. That was hilarious. That would have been hilarious. I'm going to have to watch it. Naomi is in the house. That's awesome. Good to see you. Beth Mayhew has made it in. And yeah, man, we got some good, cool people up in the house. Plumpy has made it. Yeah. All right. Good stuff. Ben was jamming out to the tunes. Jamming out. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday again. Fuck. It's just terrible. Terrible stuff, man. Imperious is so look, Imperious is an interesting dude. So for the longest time, you know, and this is what I've noticed, and I'm gonna make this public service announcement. This is a public service announcement meant for anyone and everyone. Please, if you're within the sound of my voice, take this seriously. Also, let your friends know. So Imperious is one of these dudes where he goes into a channel and he's like, just like Jack is the same way. Imperious is like, nah, you're cool. Everything, you know, I'm cool with you. But really, he's not cool with you. He's not cool with you at all. As a matter of fact, he's the opposite of cool with you. What's up, SD Guy 64? And you know, as an interesting thing is that I sort of hung Imperious around because when he was on my channel, he would kind of behave himself. And by behave himself, I mean he would more or less kind of, you know, not spurg out. And if I said, "Hey man, you're getting a little spicy there," I would he'd calm down. Well, in the true biting the hand that feeds you mantra, that's exactly what's happened. Is Imperious is spurged out. He's lost his shit. He's been in my Discord for the past couple of days, and the things that he says, it's really interesting because I literally just wreck this dude on everything, and I'm not even trying hard. Like, I'm doing this in my spare time. I'm you guys know that I'm almost, as much as I want to be in the Discord and just sit there and chat and have a good day, you know, hanging out with my online buddies, I got real shit to do. So this is a in between, you know, serious shit sort of thing for me. But Imperious takes this shit seriously. But the really interesting thing is that he just gets wrecked over and over and over again, and he just keeps coming back. So on the one hand, I should be like, yeah, I'll just keep wrecking Imperious just like I wreck Wee Little Man. But to be honest with you, he detracts from the show, and it's not it's not worth spending a lot of time on. Just know that Imperious, if Imperious comes in and behaves himself, he can stay. If he comes in and spurgs that much, moderators, you are weapons free, and you can do what needs to be done, as I trust you will, because the meek do not inherit the earth. All right, so Imperious is awesome. Yeah, yeah. Look, Cat makes bad decisions sometimes, and there's this weirdness that he does where he that women, or pardon me, it's not that there's this weirdness where like women for some reason want to have him up or whatever, because they think he's edgy or some shit. You know, he's like the kid, you know, in high school that was like, oh yeah, Oh, that's awesome. But he's not awesome at all. Anyway, so that's that. What's up, Imperious? Good to see you. Gonna come to get wrecked again. Come to get wrecked. So, as you may have heard, Imperious, if you behave yourself, you may stay. If not, you got to go. That's how that works. Because you're not cool. You're not even cool a little bit. As the world spins in your hand, that's your wang, dude. Quit playing with that. Put it away. Somebody's gonna call the law. I'm just saying. That's what happens. Don't play with that, you'll go blind. Sure you've heard that before. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So on to tonight's show. What an interesting week it's been all over the place. I did actually. Somebody was asking if I saw Wick get wrecked and completely destroyed on Tim Pool. No, I didn't. But there's no other alternative because he's an idiot. Well, he's not an idiot. He's not a good debater. He knows things. Some things are even useful. But he doesn't know how to use those things in an argument very well. He gets wrecked. He gets wrecked. He gets wrecked on his own panel when he's a moderator and can mute people. I don't know what you want to call that. Arctic Timberwolf, it's spelled W-H-I-C-K. Wick is a streamer. He started out, I believe, as a Twitch streamer. Somebody can correct me on that if you know. And basically, he took Wick was part of the Progressive Victory Tour. If you don't know what Progressive Victory was, I'll summarize it as saying very simply that Progressive Victory was a PAC that went around to leftist streamers and paid them to say various things. Wick, and also they paid them to make their channel bigger, right? So they would they did a bunch of different things. One of the things that I feel like that I don't know is a common knowledge, and I don't think it's uncommon knowledge either. Wick was basically astroturfed into the position he has. He didn't actually gain all of his subscribers and all that on his own merit. What would happen is Destiny would end a 10,000 viewer stream and then send them to Wick, and Wick would plod along and play his part. Now, he got paid, obviously, to spout nonsense, and so he's a useful idiot at best. But more than that, he's a collaborator, and and it's not. And I mean, I had a debate with him where he couldn't mute anyone, and he got wrecked in that. Anyway, so Wick getting roasted on Tim Pool is not unusual. I mean, look, all of these leftists get roasted. That when they come out of their comfort zone, when they come off of their little echo chambers and now into the real world, they get wrecked because they really don't have the actual knowledge. They don't have anything behind their arguments, right? And that's just a sad truth of it. I can't tell you. I don't know what else to say. I don't know if that helps you out, Arctic Timberwolf, but that's who Wick is. Wick is, like I said, yes, I did see that the SAVE Act did pass the House. That's going to be that's going to be interesting going forward as well. Did you guys see that? I mean, there's so many interesting things. I'm trying to remember what the one that I was like super, I thought was super interesting. By the way, you already have AOC out with the SAVE Act. You already got AOC out claiming that it tramples women rights and it's the worst thing. The Republicans are anti everybody. This is only good for a few and all that kind of stuff. So, it's it is what it is. That dude, Mahmoud Khalil. He can be deported. An immigration judge found today, a couple hours ago, that Khalil can be deported. He is what he is, and now they're trying to federally block that shit. We'll see if that works. I don't know. Maybe, it's tough, but it is what it is. Yeah. They had 6 people. Pardon me. They had a shooting the other night, I believe, in it was Georgia or Florida. I think it was Georgia, and it was obviously a gang shooting. And they up until the point where the sheriff came out and said it's gang shooting, they were really trying to spin it as mass shooters. But then they arrested 4 people that shot at 4 other people, and basically it was gang activity. Anyway. Pompey says, my gay thug rights. By the way, guys, I forgot, as usual, I forgot the Grift song. By the way, if you enjoy the podcast, if I help you through your day at all, or whatever, please feel free to give a few dollars if you have them. I will appreciate it. And the interesting thing is, it helps me continue to do this, because even though it can be argued that I don't actually need the money, time is money to me, and I could be doing many other things. We'll talk about some of the other stuff that's going on. The TTS is $10. I've tried actually many times to lower it to $9.99. It won't let me do it, so it is $10. Yeah, not $9.99. Sorry, all you folks with iPhones. Arthur Dias says, given that the feminists don't think women should take their husband's last name, only the conservative woman would have an alleged issue getting a new ID. That's interesting. I tried really hard. There was a lady on the other day. I tried really hard to get her to come up on the show, and she was she's in Mexico. Beth knows her. Beth Mayhew. And she's self-deported to Mexico because her husband did not come to the country legally when he could have, and his paperwork was being held up. So they actually didn't even fight it. They're like, we're going back to Mexico. Yeah. So yeah, Stacy, yes, thank you. You should call. You should get Stacy. Tell her to come on in here. Tell her. We're talking about her, singing her song, as it were. So I have and I've noticed a bunch of people asking if about what's going on with Jordan Peterson. He cried the other night, all kinds of things. It's very interesting. So yeah, it's interesting. There's a lot of stuff. Viking, you're welcome to come up. Let me put the link in the mod chat. I did not do that tonight. I apologize. I was over on another channel. We were talking about. I was actually over on my buddy Chris Lestrange's panel, and we were talking about we were talking about drama and streamers and that kind of thing. I gave my opinion, then I had to run. Lindsay Smith autistic? I don't know. I think she's Californian. I don't know if that's the same thing or not. Did you see how pissed everyone got? Ladies and gentlemen, this is news. Did you see how they're fucking losing it? Wait, Jordan, does somebody seriously didn't know who Jordan Peterson is? I got totally fucking derailed there. Anyway, so now I gotta think about what I was saying. Hang on, stand by. Trump is out of order with some of these deportations. I mean, if it's administration error, then why fight it? It's kind of evil. I don't know. I don't make those decisions, but yeah, is what it is. What's up, Calvin? How are you? Can you come up tonight? I know that you had a lot of stuff that you wanted to say the other night. Oh, have you seen how the leftists are losing their fucking minds over RFK saying that they are going to find the reason behind autism? Like that's something they're going to do. And even I think he said they're going to do it within like 2 years or some shit like that. Hey, Leah, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you in the chat. And the liberals are losing their damn minds over this. Absolutely. They're like, well, you're just going to say it's this or say it's that. The real question is why haven't we been trying to figure this out? This is why are people mad that we actually want to find out what causes autism? That seems like a win-win. I don't know. Plumpy made it to recruit. That's awesome. By the way, if anybody sees Siege D roaming around, I haven't seen that guy in a minute. I saw him a little bit on the stream with Rolo the other day, but then he disappeared again. I don't know if he's like pissed at us or whatever, but that dude should be a hang around. Yeah, Plumpy has made it. So Ben, I don't know if it's the vaccines or the food or the drug. And I mean, literally, like you gotta. The list of people who are probably scared as shit about this is probably really long, like really, really long. Because, I mean, let's face it. It could be the food. It could be the additives we're putting in food. It could be all of it. It's really crazy. I was getting to that, Kevin. Give me a minute. Kevin's sabotaging the stream coming in. I was just getting to that. Give me a minute. I got to talk about RFK, man. I got to talk about RFK. Helping Hound. That's fucking funny. It is funny how people are offended that autism might have a cause like they did with ADHD, homosexuality, and liking ICP. That's pretty funny. Where is Wicked Wally? You mentioned ICP. Wicked Wally is going to have to show up now. That's just the way that is. But yeah, it's. I think RFK doing this. I think it's really interesting how all of these people are acting like they're spurging out, man. They're like, it's crazy, literally nuts at how these people are spurging out. $5 comes in from Ben. They probably act like autistics are a protected class, like black people. Weird. They're going they're going to get rid of them. I always thought that the cure for autism would be a great thing, or just knowing what causes it so a cure could be developed. That seems like you'd want that. I don't know, but people are like really losing their shit about this stuff. Like I can't even make that up. That's a real thing. So you're afraid that some people, the crazy thing is that the way JFK said it, and he put a deadline on when they're going to have the answer. They may already know, and they're just got to put all the evidence together. So yeah. They did actually throw Adderall at people. That you're right about that, Ben. or was that Ben that said that? No, Helping Hound. A Helping Hound said they literally threw Adderall and still do at kids, and look at what happened there. That is, yeah. A cure for or just understanding what causes autism would be legend. All right, now we got to go back up here. I don't know if you guys know this, but yet another DEI hire bites the dust. The commander of the Space Force, yes, I said Space Force. Space Force. The commander of the Space Force base in Greenland has been relieved of their command, probably flying loads of rubber dog shit out of Hong Kong, something like that. You know why, right? Because she literally sent a memo to her entire command and Denmark or whoever the fuck owns Greenland and the Greenland authorities and a bunch of other people basically saying that her views didn't mirror Vance's views, and after thinking about it, she didn't support any of the things he said, and blah, 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 blah. Basically, she went outside her chain of command to make a public statement. You can't do that in the military. That will get you canned, with a court-martialed, what they call that. Now, this DEI hire that they had in the command of this base was a female. I believe, somebody get a picture of that chick. I believe she's actually pretty attractive for her age. So she was definitely a first-round DEI hire. And she biffed it, totally biffed it. Like, all she had to do is, it's freaking Greenland in the Space Force. All you got to do is just sit there and be cool. Just be cool. Just be cool. You're in the Space Force. What do you really do? I mean, come on. You're not invading Afghanistan. What are you doing? Somebody find a picture of this chick. I'm sorry, I don't Google while I'm on the show unless somebody's yelling at me. And yeah, that's yes, that poor DEI hire is she has been relieved of her command. Right. Anson is hang on. The cure for autism. Stop teaching Algebra 2 and focus on math involving trains, artillery, customer service, and law enforcement. You know, you're not wrong. Calculus, does people actually use calculus? Has anyone, I want a show of hands or just ones in the chat, if you've used calculus since you graduated 12th grade outside of college. Anyway, what's up, Chip and Flint? How the hell are you, sir? How the hell are you? You've used calculus? Well, your chairman of the board he's weird. So two of you. All right. It is a paper pushing job. It is a paper pushing job, but it's the Space Force. Literally, you do nothing and you get paid for it. How do you fuck that up? Like, use it as you'd use calculus. I have formulas for engine math, but I don't actually do it. I know I'm taking calculus L's, man. Once I put down I guess I use it actually a lot in college. I didn't use it after college. Even doing engine math, it was I had specific formulas. Dang, old boy. Well, at least you're making that money, right? That's the thing, man. You got to work hard to earn hard, I guess. Yeah, anyway. So the lady from the Space Force is gone. RFK has declared that they will find the reason for autism and possibly the cure. AOC is pissed because the House just passed the SAVE Act. I can't. This is a week full of win. Imperious is spurred the fuck out. So now who the hell cares about that guy? I don't have that's cool. Wee little man has shown himself for the true moron that he is. I gotta be honest with you, it's a pretty good fucking week. Yeah. No, it's cope, brother. Pure cope. It's the best kind of cope. It's the best. So good. So good. Yeah. All right. So I thought Viking was going to come up. Did he not come up? Viking? He might have gotten distracted. You're getting tired of when? Oh yeah, I forgot about Moonlight. We'll get to Moonlight. Let's stay on the governments for a minute. Please God, don't bring him up. That's funny. AOC horse teeth. Look, Ben. Now don't lie. 1 a.m. in a bar, you're hitting that up. I'm just saying. You're too busy busting 2x4s? Oh, that's funny. I remember that. All right, cool. You're getting over pneumonia. Damn, Arctic Timberwolf. What the hell, man? Ben's battling for the other team. All right. Yeah, I think you mean batting. I think you mean batting. I got to be honest with you. I will joke with Ben about it. I don't know that Ben's gay. I think Ben's black pill. I think he's checked out. I think he looks at a woman and goes, "Why the fuck bother?" That's what I think. The Raging Patriot in the house. Welcome back, sir. Welcome back. You're just black? Okay. Black pills, all the same to me. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Arctic Timberwolf. Good to see you. Good to see you in the chat. The Raging Patriot, I have a new public service announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a public service announcement brought to you by me, the host. And I feel like that once in a while there's real solid information out there that everyone needs to hear. So please stand by for a public service announcement.
Everyone does it. Now you can do it too. Shut the fuck up. Shut your mouth. Shut up. Shut the hole in your face. Like that. You can do it. Shh. Shut up. And shut the fuck up.
Right. Okay. It's a public service announcement. You know who you need. You know if you need it. You know if you need it. Just saying. Excel won't do your work for you. Okay. All right. A helping hound. I got to be honest with you, man. My wife. I got to be honest with you, helping hound. My wife doesn't have a 60s hairstyle, but she likes that classic, but the mod look, that like classic clean, like late 60s, 70s, what they called mod. She loves that. She loves that look, man. And it's and I got to be honest, I don't mind it myself. I'm just saying, wife's hot. you know, just saying. Anyway. Arthrodya doesn't. Oh, you're already on. That's weird thing to say. It is a good look, yeah. Bobs are awesome. Page boys. Some women, you know, the women talking about like the really like thin, you know, the thin profile women with the not hatchet face, but just kind of a thinner feminine face with the page boy, man. That's what's up. Fortunately, I don't like short hair on my wife, so I don't get that look very much, but it's a real thing. It's a real thing. Do women even wear page boys anymore? Is that like off the table? You like long hair? I see my wife. I like long hair on my wife, and she's cut it short a couple of times. I just didn't like it. So yeah. Do women wear page boys? Anyone? I don't think so. I think long hair is where it's at now. But I tell you what, man, for young feminine women, a page boy or a bob, it's a good look. It's a good look. If you know, is what it is. It's a hairstyle from like when we were young. I don't know if they even use that anymore. Y'all motherfuckers just trying to make me feel old. That's what's happening here. This is ageist. You guys are all ageist. That's what's up. It depends on the face, Leah. No, Page Boy is not as in Ladies Boy Chuck in Tennessee, but good to see you. Good to see you in the chat, my friend. The Jackie is coming back. I'm not sure about the bell bottoms. No, that's not cool, man. That's not cool. It came back in the 60s, 70s, you know. But it only looks good on certain women. Like I don't think every woman can wear a page boy. It's only for like slender, very feminine faced women. You otherwise it's not a very good look. So and you can do it with a bob, whatever. Anyway, I don't know. I'm not going with the wooden clogs. Yeah, right. Chip and Flint. Right. Yeah. You're 100% right. Anyway, enough about hair. No, enough about women's hair. I don't know. It's interesting. Ringo was. I don't know. I don't know anything about any of this stuff. I'm out of my depth now. You guys have exceeded the amount of knowledge I have on this. This is like what it's like when I start talking. So you guys talking about that stuff is like me talking about firearms around you guys. So, like chicks with long hair. Like my wife just looks great with long hair, so that's what she has. So, yeah. Did I get a new credit card yet? No. It's the it was really weird. set of things there, set of happenings. Just the one thing. I guess there's really just one thing, but I do need one, I guess, because it's going to expire in 3 months. It is. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but it seems like there's a lot of companies now that just bug the shit out of you, for no reason. Jack M. Sheridan, welcome back, Jack. Jack was in the Discord when Imperious was being all weird too. I cracked him. That's all. What's up? Beach Boys were legit. Jan and Dean were legit too. I forget which one of them killed the other one, but whatever, doesn't matter. What did you do? You were in the Discord. You saw it go down. All right. So, what are we going to talk about now? We'll go wait till Viking comes up. So, I have a question that's neither here nor there. So, Kevin, what happened the other day is in the middle of my show, I get a phone call and I answer it because I think it's important because it's the I forget, it was a power company or something. It was related to the house in Winchester, and I thought it was important. And I'm like, oh shit, all right, answer this. So I answer it in the middle of my show. I picked and so I answer it, and I'm like really confused because they're telling me that my credit card needs to be updated because it will expire in like 3 months. And they just want to, they want to make sure that I don't have an interruption in service. I'm like, whatever. So, of course, I was in the middle of the show, so I'm like, all right, well, I'll go ahead and hang up. And sure enough, my credit card does expire in 3 months. And I did need to update it, and I did, but it was just so fucking out of the blue, man. It was just it was so out of the blue. It could have been a scam helping hound. I found a new scam on through text message. I had this person text me earlier today with this random text that said like, why aren't you answering me or something like that? And I'm like, I don't know who you are. And they responded back, is it, hey, I want to bring my dog in. It's really sick and whatever. And I'm like, I don't know anything about your dog. And then it was, this isn't, so-and-so, the vet that I talked to the other day. And I'm like, no. And then a little while later, they text me back, hey, sorry, I got the number mixed up. I misdialed the area code. Sorry, apologies, whatever. And I'm like, no problem. Hope your pup gets better. And the very next thing was, well, let me buy you a cup of coffee because I feel bad. I feel like I owe you. And I'm like, nah, it's all right. Don't worry about it. It's cool. And then they try to strike up a conversation. And I'm like, yeah, I don't care. I got to go. I'm really busy. So I'll talk to you later. Bye. It was very funny. I'm like, obviously you trying to like send me a credit card something and then I respond and then you get my numbers or some shit. I don't know. Whatever the fuck. I just, I don't have any. I'm like, whatever. I was a chick, Arthur Dye. Or I mean, says it's chick. The problem is that like half the time I think these, I think most of the people online are like lying anyway. Yeah, please take me out for coffee. It's funny. Arctic Timberwolf, you don't have a cell phone? I remember those days. You didn't believe that Lindsay was a female? I knew Lindsay's been on my show a couple of times. But Lindsay was like really Lindsay was like, "You're trying to put me in a box," and I'm like, "No, I'm just trying to figure out where what your worldview is." It was really it was an interesting um is an interesting thing. Um, Hanson thought his last date was a chick too. I mean, we could go right to the source. He's still here. Uh, Kevin, I think people would do that. Just go on the internet and lie. Fuck yeah, they do. Fuck yeah, they go on and lie. Fuck yes. Fuck yes. Um, the fuck yes, they lie. So I had this person contact me through, I think it was Facebook or whatever, and they seemed legit. They were from one of the groups that I'm a part of, and I was like, well, whatever, I'm always friendly. I'm not necessarily like I'm not like gushing or anything, but I'm usually friendly. So I'm talking to this person who is it's just a weird conversation. It starts out with, hey, I've read your post. You seem seem like you know what we're talking about. I'm trying to network. I'm trying to try and meet people through people. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. I've been there, and so it kind of back and forth until this person's like, well, what do you think about Bitcoin? I'm like, well, I don't think about it at all. It's not a big deal. And the whole thing was like this press to try and get me to invest in Bitcoin. Oh, I know this guy. Bitcoin's going to the moon. It's all this stuff, and I'm like, well, I mean, I'm sure it's going to do well, but it's not. Yeah, it's not what I wanted to do. So it was very interesting. And then as soon as I was like, yeah, I'm just not doing anything with Bitcoin, they blocked me. But I got to be honest, the one person I know who deals with more jackasses online is in my chat right now, and his name is Kevin. Kevin has almost a daily blog of people who email him the dumbest shit on the internet. Like, I can't even make up the shit that comes that he hears. And it was very funny. The Hall of Shame. Yeah, dude. It's like, the funny thing is, like, he has a website. You guys don't know this about Kevin. Kevin has a website, and on his website is very clearly and well written articles about all of the things that you need to know before you contact Kevin. And every fucking email he gets is somebody asking all of the things that are on the website. And I think he literally has like a cut and paste page where he just cuts and says, this is covered on the website. Please refer to this link. And then this is covered on the website. Please refer to this link. It's the dumbest thing. And the thing is he posts this shit on Facebook over and over and over again. And it's the best thing. Kevin is the best entertainment of just about anything. It's really hilarious. And you feel like a Filipino call center employee. It's just ridiculous. It's so, I mean, I'm talking like, people will be like, how much does it cost to rebuild my engine? And Kevin's like, he just cuts and pastes the answer. Here's the link. That's what it says right here. Or he'll get some like sob story of, hey, I can't really afford a complete rebuild right now. What are my options? Blah, 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 blah. And it's really awesome to read the stuff that Kevin goes through. And partly because I used to kind of go through the same thing. In my shop, I had people email me all kinds of nonsense all the time, but I was not as tolerant, nor as humorous as Kevin. I just told people to fuck off, but he does not. Kevin actually can fuck with people for quite a while, if they really offend him. And and he'll have them going. I offered to sweep your floor and take out your trash. I mean, sure, that's worth an engine, right? Why would that not be? Yeah, an offer of apprenticeship, something new. It's not really new. So yeah, it's really Kevin has the best, man. Like I always thought I got the weirdos, but no, I'm not in Kevin's league, man. Not in Kevin's. Now I had the guys that wouldn't pay me. That was my big thing. Is I had guys that would that my first 5 years or 6 years in business, I never had a single problem with payment. I never had anyone pay me late. I never had anyone reverse a check. I never had anyone reverse a credit card or stop payment on a check or anything. And then Obama was elected. And I kid you not, it was like 6 months. Within 6 months, every one of those things had happened. I had people that would basically abandon their cars at my shop because they didn't want to pay the bill or couldn't pay the bill or a combination of both. I had customers who I had a customer who literally tried to, well, he did lie, but he tried to basically steal his car out of my shop, and then he pulled some other really janky shit. That's a long story, but it was really crazy. I had chargebacks, bad checks, and all of it, man. It was crazy. And I wish that I could really, I wish it was, I wish it was a fairy tale, but I'm telling you, man, it was nuts. I had I remember the first bad check that I got, and it was just nuts. It was crazy all around. But I don't know. It was terrible. You're right, Kevin. It was the housing market was, a bust, and there were people who were refinancing cars at some ridiculous level, and it just, and the biggest problem I think was the credit crunch happened where overnight people went from having, which we're going to see this again. People went from having, $30,000 on their Visa card, waking up the next morning and their credit having been reduced to like, I don't know, like, $5 or $6 grand, So, yeah, man, it was rough, man. I don't know what Kevin went through back then, but I tell you, man, it was the first time I had any problems getting people to pay me. And it didn't get better until, honestly, it really didn't get better until Trump was running. And then even by then I was retiring. So, but it was crazy. You were 7 in 2008. I wasn't. Oh man, it was terrible, dude. I mean, it was really bad. Yeah, it was terrible. I mean, I had clients at a Wallet Ninjas could be. Yeah, it could be. It was really interesting. I mean, it was just a weird time, dude. I had people trying to get out of their bills left and right. It was crazy. Started a YouTube channel in 2008. I probably should have. Yeah. Man, it was bad. It was really, that actually opened, that was up until that point. To be honest with you, I never had any real problems in business until 2008. In 2008, 2009, something like that. That's when, and everybody, look, it wasn't just me. A lot of people were having the same problems, and I had people just abandon their cars at my shop, or engines or whatever at the shop. I had multiple people, come down and pick up their car, pay their bill, pick up their car, and just drive off because they couldn't afford it. anymore. And it was an interesting time. And I can't even believe what, you know, I can't believe that people are as concerned now, but that was literally I mean, that was a horrible time. Arthur died, those 2 cats generations ago. Yeah, I believe you. So yeah, helping hand. I get that, man. You want to hear a crazy woman dating story I have before I got married? Yeah, give me a minute. I'll dig one out of my memory. I mean, I actually didn't date very many like really crazy. Well, all right, so I didn't date very many crazy people, more than normal, but uh, I had so I dated this girl in college. She was awesome, actually, and um, we well, no, I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna, give me a second. It's weird. What's up, God's favorite aunt? Oh, that's funny. A crazy woman story. I mean, I only dated a little bit of crazy. I mean, most women are crazy. It's just degrees. I tried to stay away from the really truly psychotic ones. No, I mean, I dated a couple. I just don't know if I want. My wife does watch the show, guys. So, um, you know, I don't want to. I don't want to, go too far. Anson, and yeah, you guys like crazy women. I had an aversion to crazy women, to be honest with you. So we'll come back to that. I don't know. I'm not. Would I go too far? My wife watches the show, guys. It's fun until it's not. That's right. I did not remember that Arthur Dyer. He likes complicated women, not crazy women. All right. So, all right. I mean, my wife knows about some of the crazy ass women I dated. I don't know, man. I don't know. Normally, I don't have any problem with the stories, but the crazy ones, man. I mean, I've never been stalked that I'm aware of, right? So that's good. She knows. She's heard most of the good. I mean, most of the stories. I just don't have. I have weird. Like I had weird girlfriends, right? Like I dated this girl once, and she had so. And you all women are different, and this girl was. I mean, she was cute. She was great. And she was actually really cool, but she actually had this thing about she would not uh like nights that like there were date nights and nights that we were together, and then there were nights that like she just didn't come over. And originally it was like I thought she was working. I thought it had something to do with her job, and then I thought she was um like cheating on me, and I didn't, she really wasn't, but it was just weird because it was like if we had plans together, for example, and if we had plans together, everything's fine. If all of a sudden I got a night free and was like, "Hey, come over and do this," she'd be like, "No, I can't do it." And I actually assumed that it was work related, but it wasn't. And but if she had a night free, I was expected to drop everything, and I'm like, "This is fucked up. I don't do that." And so eventually, I just and by eventually, I mean probably like 4 or 5 dates into this deal, maybe 6, about a month and a half, probably. Um, I'm like, look, what is up here, right? Like, what's going on? And so the thing is that she was bi and she had a girlfriend, and she was like, she was trying to decide if she wanted to, you know, be with dudes or be with girls or whatever. She's a confused college girl. And so I was like, all right, well, that's the end of this. This is the end of that. And so I broke up with her. We didn't date anymore. And that's the end of that. So my friends, when I was telling them about it, they're like, and um, I'm like, because to me it was just a weird deal. Like, I was like, man, I can't believe, like this girl has a girlfriend and she was dating me and all that. And I had a lot of friends at the time, true degenerates, that were like, oh man, you didn't try go for that 3-way just even once. And I'm like, no, dude. I mean, she really liked my look, and I don't know. I mean, she might be in the chicks that look like me, and I don't think I'd make an attractive woman at all. So I didn't want to go there. I would be it'd be fucking weird. So I don't know. I couldn't. I took the lazy way. I did take the lazy way out, So yeah, I didn't do that. No, no. So there was that one. That was pretty crazy. That's pretty nuts. Um, I mean, I dated some other like I've dated some psychos. I dated this girl who broke up with me like all the fucking time. It was really, and well, all the time. She broke up with me like 3 times, and finally was like, "You're nuts. Like, you're just nuts. Like, I can't even right now." Yeah, it could have been fun. Maybe. You never know. And then I dated this the girls by. Girls by. She was curious. I don't know if she was even really bi. She was curious, whatever. I don't know. Ah, it was crazy. Nuts. Um I dated this girl that her ex-husband, which I didn't normally date chicks with ex, like, had been married, but this chick was hot. So I dated this girl whose ex-husband was a fucking psychopath, and he was constantly like fucking with her. And um it was one of those things where initially I thought, the right thing for me to do was to, kind of stand up for this chick and all that. But then I figured out that she was basically instigating a lot of it. And what she was really doing was looking for someone to just kind of, like, I don't know, kind of fuck up her husband or ex-husband. And I was like, you know what? This is too weird. I'm out. Got to bail. Don't want to do that. So Um, So, hold on. Gotta go here. Did he have roid rage? No, I don't know. He was just a weird dude. He was a fucked up dude. How do you meet Chinese women? I don't know. I met mine through a dating website. We used to have those back before we had apps. We didn't have a dating app. There was no app. But yeah, my wife, I met her through a dating website. I must know what. Grindr didn't exist when I was dating. Arthur Dye, I suggest that you do not date women. Women are fucking psycho. So, you know. Yeah, I didn't. I guess it's interesting now because I thought the apps made it easier, but maybe not. What's up, Beth Mayhew? How are you? I dated. I mean, I don't know. You guys have to understand that I only dated like probably 10 or 12 girls seriously. The rest were just good for now girls, and I really didn't give a shit. You know, you didn't, but that's hilarious that happened, Kevin. But I mean, I've told this, I've told you guys this before. For the new people, I'm going to expand on my. I'm going to expand on that in just a minute. What's my body count and why is it 700? Well, I can get into that if you want me to. We'll talk about that. Is Viking coming up, or is he out? That he's got things to do. We can talk about why it's high. I mean, you had to look at Daisy Chin and just know that was trouble. He's at the Home Depot right now. That's funny. That's funny. All right. Well, who besides Viking wants to come up? We'll talk about stuff. There's a bunch of people in here that's really focused on gay.
Flawless victory. Excellent.
I'm on the wrong page here. What's up with that? Why is my screen messed up? Ooh. Something wrong. My wife speaks Mandarin. Is Viking in the chat and I just not seeing him? I don't know why Ben does not like Viking. Is this a deep-seated attraction you have? There's Viking. What's up, buddy?
Yo, hear me all right?
I can hear you, bro.
All right. Yeah, Ben's my number one fan now. It's all good. I appreciate him.
It's not that Ben's a fan so much as he's. Well, I mean, he's just weird. So it's good. It's all fine. It's good.
Well, I figured, I could pop in, and even if he pays to get me kicked off, at least I'll generate some revenue to keep your wife from canceling the stream.
Yeah, man. Sure. Why not? So apparently the subject that everybody wants to talk about now is me, my dating history and some of that stuff. But it's a very interesting. I don't know. I don't think it's particularly interesting, but other people do, so I can talk about it. But yeah, I don't know. Very somewhat strange to me.
Because that's just one of my many camera angles, Arthur Dyer. I mean, we could go with that one. Or we could go with that one. Or that one. But this one is kind of cool. Because it just pans around, so I like it. That's why.
I actually don't notice it panning as much most of the time. Because it's such a slow pan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't want people to get motion sick. If it was going too fast, people would be going like, or you might burn out the motor faster too.
Maybe not. So anyway,
well, I've had a couple people complain about it when I had it on full screen. They said it was making them motion sick because they weren't sure if it was moving or not. But
yeah. So how's there, Emmett? How are you? I see you're up here.
Hey, great. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm just, I was having a good show, and then Ben kind of misdirected me there. That's all right.
He just wanted to live vicariously through you. That's all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is kind of interesting to me that it's probably not interesting to anybody but me, but it is kind of interesting to me that so many people have so varied, viewpoints on all of the dating and stuff. I guess in my day, we all kind of, I wouldn't say it was like a group think, but we were like, I felt like it was pretty normal. Maybe I'm wrong. So who knows?
And like I said in chat earlier, back in 08, I was just partying around, having a good time. So, but I do know what Arthur Dye was talking about the cat food, because my part-time job at the time, so I could pay for my alcohol, was working at a dollar store or a Dollar General. And we had one lady that would come. We had a lot of elderly people that come in for greeting cards and stuff because they were cheap. But then we had this one lady that would always buy like 2-3 cases of cat food. And one day, the other elderly lady that worked with me just asked her, how the kitty's doing, and she just got confused. And we're just like, she's like, what do you mean? And she's like, the cats, for the cat food. She's like, oh, I don't have any cats.
And
this woman would buy these 2-tier cases, like 3 of them at a time. It was like $30 of cat food, like every week or some shit like that.
Wow.
I'm like, okay,
that's pretty ridiculous.
That's weird.
That's weird, right? He just said, he comes out. That's weird.
That's fucking
yeah. That's
weird.
why we were just like, oh, okay. Well, she's still buying the cat food, okay.
They're not my cats. They're my kids.
Oh, dude, I hate that. That's actually a good topic. That's a good topic for the debate tomorrow night. The debate panel tomorrow night is, how wrong is it to refer to pets as fur babies?
Yeah, it depends on how you're actually treating them, in my opinion. Because as somebody that trains cats and dogs, right? When you anthropomorphize or humanize like an animal, you're mistreating them by default because you're not recognizing like what they actually are. It's the same thing that if you do to a child, like hold some unreasonable expectation, like the parents that try to live vicariously and make them become famous or something like that, you ultimately become, at least to some degree, mentally abusive, if not full on physically abusive. And the thing is that when people view their animals that way, they actually let them get away with a lot of animal behaviors and justify it through like human justification, post hoc justification. and they actually end up enabling and training the animal to do bad things. They don't correct behavior correctly. So the same way that you see like a person misraising a child and the child ends up being violent, not out of control, you get the same thing with dogs. That's why I believe in the saying, there aren't any bad dogs, just bad dog owners.
Yeah.
Now they're bad dogs and they're bad kids.
Well, yeah, but
You know,
on a
sometimes you
general
get a bad
rule,
dog, and they
most
have
of the
to put it
time the
down.
training is lacking when it comes to dogs and even cats. That's the thing. Is like even when it comes to cats, you can correct cat. My people say, "Oh, you got to neuter your male cats, or they're gonna piss everywhere." Well, if it's my territory, my cat ain't pissing on anything, and if my cat actually respects me, I don't have to worry about that. But a lot of people don't understand that about cat psychology. They only mark their territory. So if your cat's marking your house, they believe they're in charge and you're their bitch. Same
I just
thing
wanna
with
say
dogs tearing
this.
up the place and correcting you.
I just want to say this today. I'm not a cat lady. I hate cats. I hate animals in general. I hate everything in general. So, yeah. I would
Okay,
put them on a
boy, that
fucking
escalated
bag.
quickly.
I
I
would put them
don't
in
like
a fucking
cats. I like
bag
it. Ah!
and throw them in the fucking river if I could. Like that's what I would do. Who needs them?
Yeah, when I train my cat would come when I call. So
Yeah, you can bring him up. I'm not gonna kill your cat. It's your cat.
can't hear you, Grid.
Yeah, you're muted. But yeah, the way that you look at it is true. That if you want to correct something, you're not gonna go ahead and be like, "Oh, it's the dog's fault. It's your fault. You have to do something about it."
Am I back?
You're the
There
owner.
you go.
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, can you hear me? Okay.
There's like a delay, it looks like.
A little bit.
Is there a delay?
Yes.
That's weird.
Yeah, there's like a delay and an echo.
Delay and an echo? All right, hang on. All right, is that better?
Nope.
You need to have more kids, Arthur. That's what you need to do.
Echoing? It's weird. All right. Let's see. Why would it be echoing?
Sounds better now.
Does it sound better now?
Nope, it's still doing it. This sounds like the same shit like Glenn was doing, but instead of like the demon voice, you got the echo.
Yeah.
Okay, is that better?
Sounds like it so far.
Okay, good. Well, it's the thing is there's like I think yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean my mic will play through the way my mic is run is a little weird, and I can play it through like 3 or 4 different methods, and I think when I run it back through voice mod it echoes. So I don't know, whatever. It's fine. Long as you guys can hear me and everything's great, it's fine. That's all that matters.
Yeah, we can hear you. Are you ready for tomorrow?
I am almost ready for tomorrow. Now, we're not going to have all of the fancy stuff. We're not going to have the. I'm not going to have the animations. I'm not going to have cool music and things like that. It's just basically going to be like any other panel. Maybe have some background art or something. I don't know. But the show itself should be really good. We got some really decent debate topics all lined up, and it's gonna be pretty cool. And in theory, there's gonna be a lot of really cool people show up. I don't know. It's everybody says they're coming to the party. Then who knows if they show up? But one of the I did hear from I've heard from some people. So how are we? All right. So let me explain how this is going to go down. We'll go just a quick rundown of the rules. I'm still finalizing them. They'll be done by tomorrow night's show, or at least the first version. We may have to modify it, but so basically we're going to open the show. We're going to have the first batch of people. I'm actually going to put the link up, which I never do. We're going to put the link up. You come in, you have the you'll be in the back chat. I'll bring you up. It'll be just like this, except obviously smaller pictures because that's the way it's going to work. And then I think we'll have 10 people up at a time. And then the way to work is I'm going to propose a topic. The chat decides who's going to do the 1v1. Hopefully they get into it pretty easily. We won't spend, I'm hoping not to spend very much time talking about the debate topic. More than likely what I'm going to do is I'm going to put out the topic or list of topics, and then the chat should be able to pick who they want to debate and what the topic is. This is actually a good question. Should I make should I make it an extra fee to pick both the topic and the debaters? So if we say it's $50 or $40, whatever it is, to pick the debaters, the 1v1, if you pick the topic as well, is that like an extra 20? What do you guys think? Throw me some ones if yes, twos if no's in the chat so I know.
Are we gonna have like opening statements, or it's just gonna go directly into?
We're getting there. Don't jump ahead of the game.
Okay.
So so once you've been selected for the 1v1, now here's where it gets interesting. If it's a debate that you do not want, right, or somebody's playing games where it's like if Ben gets put up against somebody he would normally not debate against, which I don't know who that would be, but let's say just for the sake of argument, it's Ben and SD Guy 64, right? Those are the names in front of me. So let's say that Ben doesn't want that, they have basically the same viewpoint. It's going to be a boring ass debate and whatever. So he's like, I don't want that debate. So he can pay to select another panelist to take that debate in his place once per round. So, and one person per round. So like if it's Ben and SD Guy and Ben throws his money out there first, I'm out of this one. I don't like this topic, or I don't we're too close on this, then you can do he can buy his way out. But only once per round. And that's just to keep people from, because one of the things that is, I think, super stupid is putting people who have the exact same worldview in a debate where all they're going to do is agree with each other. And that's dumb. So and plus you may just not want it. You may be like, I don't know anything about that topic. This sucks. So I don't know. I think that's pretty good. So, so once you've taken the debate, you're in the debate. I give you 1 minute per each person to give your position. That's kind of your opening statement. Your opening position is, like Ben would say, he believes that women should not, the right to vote should not be taken away from women, not even though he doesn't agree with it, right? And somebody else could be like, well, I think Ben's an idiot, and I think women should not be able to vote. And whatever their opening statements are, you get 1 minute for that. That's not on the clock. Once both of you exhausted your minute, I give you 5 minutes to debate. It is going to be moderated, and then once the 5 minutes are up, unless somebody adds time, we vote. and you're either in or you're out.
And it's like a tier system. The ones that have participated in the debate, the one that wins gets like selected until all the others.
Yeah, all right. So if you
Selected.
win the debate, all right. So let's just say that you and I have debated, and we throw it to chat, and the
And
chat
you win, obviously.
the chat feels like you won. Now I am trying to come up with a way, because I don't want it to become a popularity contest. So we're still working on how to tweak this, because the way that when you have the chat voting, a lot of times it's just they just like somebody better than the other, and they don't even care about the arguments that are made. So there has been, right, Jack M. Sheridan has hit on it. This has been suggested multiple times. 3 judges and one or 2 judges and 1 chat vote. So the chat gets a vote, and then the 2 judges get a vote. So so that's or like Jack says, maybe 3 judges, and then the chat can vote, but it doesn't mean anything. So
I would say that maybe this is a possibility, but if you have like one of the judges be in the chat, I think that would be
Anson
fine.
has never been an impartial judge. I don't know why he's trying to point at him, unless he's pointing at me. Anson's about as impartial as, well, I don't know, because he's not impartial at all.
But yeah, I would say having the chat be like one of the votes, that would be nice.
Yeah. I think, well, the chat needs to be involved, but the problem with having it become a popularity contest is that it's just people stop listening to the debates, and they just they're like, nah, I just like this guy. I like the cut of his jib. So so I'm going to actually probably have to figure out something for the judges, and it may be that we bring in someone like, someone that's not in the mix. Maybe I can get Glenn to come on and somebody else, and that way it's a it's a more fair manner of voting. So anyway, so that's how that works. And once you're eliminated, there's I'm gonna have to put a time limit in, I think, so that if you get eliminated, you have only so long before you cannot be revived. So I don't know if you can't like you can't get put out in the first round and then come back up. You know what I mean? In like the last round. That's
so people can't like pay just to like troll the debate.
Right. Well, and the other thing is that, all right, so the first hour, the way that I think this is going to go, the first 45 minutes to an hour is just going to be getting the 10 people, right? The final 10, because there'll probably be 20 people that want to be on, and there'll probably be 10, but only 10 people can be in the round robin, and then you do the round robin, right? So then it's single elimination. So, Jack, I'm planning it on this channel tomorrow night. We're going to start the regular show at 8. At 9:30, I'm going to cut it off. 9 or 9:30, I'm going to cut off the regular show, and we're going to ease into the game show portion of it. It is a game show. I just don't want it to become a circus act. I don't really want it to become a sideshow. Yeah, sure, Ben. Get the link from whoever, and you can come up. So the and look, not everybody is going to the mods have the Discord. Oh, that who's not in the Discord? Everybody's in the Discord that's in here, I think. Pretty close. Silvar Ogre says it sounds much too complicated. I'm making it more complicated than it is. Basically, it's really simple. we seed the first portion of the show, right? And that's basically just like any other game show, right? You come up, the one thing I haven't figured out yet is how somebody in the waiting room, green room, can challenge somebody on the panel that's just sitting there being quiet or trying to avoid competition or whatever in the first part of it. I haven't figured out how to do that. And that may be something I don't get right away, right? That may be something that I end up figuring out. But basically it's really simple. The audience pays for the 1v1s. I have the list of topics. You pick a topic, you go to work. Once around, you can buy your way out, right? I think that's interesting. That makes it tactical, right? I guess that adds an air of tacticalness to it. What's up, Ben?
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, guys? How's it going?
I'm pretty good.
So anyway, and then I think it's actually not as I'm making it sound more difficult because I'm throwing out a bunch of options and thoughts that I'm thinking.
Yeah, you're delving into that like next level of detail. I'm sure that you'll get everything streamlined in due time. A lot of this stuff is conceptual right now and needs to actually be put into practice to figure out what works, what doesn't, how you can refine it.
Right. Plumpy, I don't have my Discord up right now, but somebody can throw you the Discord invite. If not,
can I offer a suggestion or something that I think?
Yeah, I mean, anybody can offer a suggestion.
Yeah, so what I think might be a good idea is if you decide on debate prompts early on to give people a few days to prep, and then what you can do is tell them, okay, here are the debate prompts.
You're going to prep for like 20 or 30 debate prompts?
That's how many debates there's going to be?
Well, there's going to be 10 contestants. There's going to be probably 20 to start because we're going to winnow those down to the 10. And then you're going to have 4 rounds to get down to the final 4.
I think it would be fine to at least post so they would know, like, even if they don't prep for it like thoroughly, they can at least get an idea of what they could be debating. But what you could do is
that's what makes it a game show, though, kind of. I don't disagree.
The thing is, yeah, I think that you could get better debates if people know ahead of time, but they don't know if they're going to be debating the affirmative or negative for it. So they would have to think of both sides. So they would have a stronger argument if they're in both cases. But if there's going to be that many debate prompts, I didn't think about that. Then, I mean,
well, even
it still might be helpful to
prompts, right? Like even 10, that's a lot, dude.
Yeah, it's a little gimmicky, but I mean, it's part of the show that you're gonna have to get a debate that you might not know much about and try to wheel your way around it.
True.
Yeah, I think it would be more apt to describe it as like more of an improv style debate rather than a formal debate.
It is.
Right.
Yeah,
okay. Well, if that's the case,
it's
that's
total
fine.
blood sport, man.
Yeah, I just don't know about the quality of the debates or the debaters if they do have to think about it on the fly. But if that's the game, then that's fine. Yeah,
I mean,
that makes more sense if that's the goal.
Part of it is try to chop your chops in the debate.
Right.
Yes, I think.
So there wouldn't be a really good way to.
Because if you really want to have like a good debate, and this is something that I've been thinking about, you would actually have a discovery phase before the debate. So you send your sources to the other side, and the other side sends your sources in advance, and you go through the sources so you can actually go into it, citing the statistics and everything from the sources that you'll go in. So yeah, I mean that would be like a proper debate. But I don't think that's the idea in this case.
Right.
It's 5-minute debates. You don't have time for that anyway.
Yeah. I mean, if that's sort of the theme of the show, then that's fine. Then that makes sense. Okay. Well, that's all I wanted to say. So I'm gonna pop off here. Thanks for having me up.
Hey, no worries, man. No worries.
All right.
I mean, it's a good point. I mean, but it's just like any other like debate. Not really any other like even like the Throwdown Thursday that Sarah does. The a lot of the panel debates that like even Prime Kai's. He has an open debate where they just randomly sit there and talk about some whatever thing, and then like spend 2 hours debating it. And I'm just distilling this down because otherwise it's not really a kind of a game show sort of vibe. You know what I mean? It's and I'm trying to not make it I'm trying to not make it a circus show where people I don't want to make it a circus show where it takes 6 hours to get anything done, and people get bought back in 5 times, and then they get assassinated. Before they're they last the whole debate and then just randomly get taken out by somebody who spends $60 to kick them.
Yeah, you want it to be more like MMA rather than a street fight.
Yeah. Well, that's actually that's a good description. So, it's more like improv comedy, and thrown in with thrown in with MMA, right? And I mean, if you have a if you have an understanding of the things that your positions, then what do you? I mean, I know how I'm going to debate in general. I know how I'm going to debate in 5 minutes a pro-life position. Right.
I wonder though, like if you take somebody who has no idea about economics, for example, but they're strong in a bunch of other things, I just wonder how this 5 minutes will be to watch.
Have you never seen VK or what's the one? What Sarah Caller show? I think she's renamed it the Gauntlet, but it was called the Hot Seat. It was called the Hot Seat.
Okay. So, yeah, I only see little bits and pieces, so I don't get like the formal formatting and stuff. But
yeah, I think you're looking at this as like from like the way Rob Noor does his things, and I'm looking at it like how
like a show. Yeah.
It's a total game show, and I just don't want it to be completely ridiculous, like that's the only I just there's a way to do it, I think, that's better than others.
I better
Good morning,
see a fair
Tiki
share.
Tack. I see you there.
I better see a fair share of ad homs though. That's what I'd be watching for. I want to see some ad
Well,
homs.
yeah, I mean, and that's part of it. Is it's like pure blood sport debate, right? Like you have 5 minutes, and not 5 minutes to just sit there and soliloquy. You have 5 minutes to go back and forth and make a compelling argument.
So. Yeah, that's be intense. But how do you decide on the people? Is it the first X amount of people that agree to it, or
I post the link. The first 10 people that get in are up, and then they as they get knocked down or they get challenged from in the green room, which I still haven't figured out how I'm going to do yet equitably. But when I do, that'll be a thing too. But right now, you come up, you defend your position. I think the first hour will winnow it down, and then which means we may only get 3 debates in an hour, right?
Right. I like Mike's. I don't debate. I spit facts and could care less about the rebuttals. I like that attitude. Yeah. I think you nailed it there. Yeah. But
I like Mikey Balls, man. It's too bad that Mikey Balls doesn't debate because I think he could be a good debater.
Hmm.
So
I'll just blame Naomi.
there you go. Just blame the female.
Yep. All right, I'm hopping off. See you guys.
All right, man. We'll see you.
See ya, Ben.
See you.
Hope I can avoid a Spurgfest. So there's a. I don't know that we could really have a Spurgfest because I'll just kick you. So
I mean, there isn't a frequent like kind of baseline of spurging that does happen. You know, that's why you have moderators to put people back on track.
well, that's actually one of the things that I didn't like about. Now I will give Sarah a lot of credit. She's come a long way, but one of the things I didn't like about the first hot seat or Mod Monday or whatever she calls it now, when the first time I went on there, I didn't actually understand the program, and so I was at a disadvantage. So that's on me. But also, she wasn't really moderating, and that's actually one thing I plan on doing is actually moderating, so that if somebody's just sitting there yelling the same thing over and over and over again, I'm just going to tell them that somebody either answer the question. Somebody has to answer the question, or they have to move on, or something has to happen, because I'm not going to listen to 3.5 minutes of somebody spurging out and just repeating the same question loudly over and over, or spurging out and just making a bunch of statements without actually creating a debate. So yeah, but yeah, so it's going to be pretty good, I think. It is an interesting format. It's and trying to keep it in that more not serious vein, but kind of trying to keep it out of the circus sideshow sort of realm, I guess. It's tough. It's tough because it really is kind of that. It's prone to that, right? So
Yeah, well, because of the human need to be right. So you're always going to deal with people that are going to lean into their own bias too much and not be able to be impartial and not be honest with themselves that they're not being impartial, and be like, nope, I'm just right. That's why I'm right, because I'm right.
The solution is the solution.
What's the yellow and red? Does anybody know what the yellow and red car rule is on Laugh Out Loud? I'm not sure I ever watched that show.
No, I haven't. I don't watch a lot of debate in general and stuff. That's
Well, I
also
think
why
that's
I
a
can't really
comedy
confidently
show.
give feedback.
Would it be like football? Like yellow is like a warning and red you get kicked? I don't know.
I'm not sure. I never watched that show. I don't know. I've heard of the show, though. I have heard of the show. So,
Jack said something interesting in chat. He said like,
sorry.
Getting the chat involved maybe with questions. I don't know if that's even possible. But maybe you could add like ask a question, $5 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean it's possible.
I thought about that. I thought it was kind of clever.
Yeah.
For the grift.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you guys do you guys have any other questions? Or anybody in the chat have questions?
No, for chat is $5.
What was this? Did I miss something? Tiki Tac made a gasket out of fiberglass mesh and red RTV. That sounds legit. That probably works. Following the rules is important. That is important. Maybe, Jack. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how you seem a little biased in some areas. I'll have to think about that. We'll have to talk about that. So.
How are you planning of getting like to 10 people? Because you said it's probably going to be 20, and you're going to spend like 45 minutes to go to the 10 people.
Well, if you do, that would be basically if you do single round elimination. After the first 10, you have 5 people left, right? So you could do 20 people and end up with 10. You just have to have 5 debates, right? 5 debates for the first 10 and 5 debates for the second. And if you're doing 5 minutes at a time,
well, they're going to take longer than 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, minutes. Yeah, for sure.
If you want to go, I would say that if you want to go, if you have 20 people and you need to reduce them in time frame, you can probably do a 3-minute debate instead of a 5-minute debate.
Well, I think there's I think that the amount of time it takes is less important than the efficiency of, going through and not having to wait. Just kind of going through and making it kind of work. I think not having to have a panel of judges works. Or pardon me, not having the chat decide, I think works. I don't think we're going to do so Sarah, for example, does not do a solo judge at all. So that may be part of it too. I'm still thinking about the rules. I'll have them by tomorrow night, but it's going to be interesting for sure. So I don't know.
Ben wants a panel of OnlyFans 304s.
He's
get right on that. Start sourcing girls. Let me know how it goes. Remember who I used to work with and stuff like that. Yeah, it's like I'm friends with Chris, so
yeah. Yeah,
he can tell you all about how to source girls and how difficult it is, and how they got like 30 people finding girls. Most OnlyFans girls, they got better shit to do. They don't want to sit there and debate other girls. They hate that shit.
Dude, that's Brian's like biggest complaint is the girls. Like, and just
getting them on time, the scheduling, canceling at the last second.
Oh, dude, the whole thing. The whole thing. And like, I get it. I'm glad that I'm not him. So, And then, of course, even when they do show up, they do just like the weirdest shit ever.
Yeah, sometimes even when they show up, they cancel last minute. Or some behind the scenes stuff that some people know about. There was like some Transformers that would show up and have to be turned away at the door, basically.
Yeah, I have a good question. I have a question for the chat. I've been wondering about how to deal with this. So I'm like, I don't know for certain, but I feel like Mel is going to show up to be part of the festivities tomorrow.
I wouldn't mind having Mel in the festivities. Just
really
everything. I would debate that Transformer anytime. Yeah, I want to debate her.
Well, if they're gonna follow the debate rules, then
yeah, if they're gonna
see what the issue would be. But I think that's going to be the main issue with certain individuals is they're just not going to want to follow the rules. They're not even going to really learn the rules, let alone adhere to them.
Yeah.
If we go to a point in which one of the things I would say of the rules is you cannot do anything against the OS. If you do, you're out. It's that simple. The moment you do that, you're gone.
It's true.
So, I think I put it on the Discord that if you do anything against TOS, you're gone. You forfeit. But yeah, I would like to debate Mel on sex ed, like the idea of sex ed and how because I know how it's implemented. It was implemented in Argentina. We have the books, and we have the stats, and we have all of the things that she says that she knows that happened in Argentina. So, sure.
I didn't realize you were from Argentina. That
I'm not from
explains a lot.
Argentina. I'm
Oh,
not from Argentina. I just know the stats from
okay.
Argentina.
Okay.
I just, one of the things of knowing Espanol is that you can read the dumb things leftists do in other parts of the country, in other countries too.
Yeah, that's true. Melvin or Ryan? Which Ryan? Which Ryan are we talking about? Is bad?
Mel or Ryan is. Have you seen any when Andrew and Rattlesnake was on Saras last time?
Kinda, but not a
The
lot.
guy with no teeth. It's missing a tooth. No, it's a leftist. He's annoying. You can ask him like any question.
Oh, that dude, the guy
will.
the guy who looks like he's on crack.
Yes, the guy that's probably on crack. Yes,
because his eyes are like this the whole time.
Oh,
I'm planning to finally do a face reveal tomorrow. By the way, so.
I've seen a few memes where like people are posting these videos of these leftists like tweaking out on TikTok, and there was always like these captions. It's always the eyes. Why is it always the eyes? Because they're all like bug-eyed as shit and tweaking.
Dude, that dude. There's something wrong with that dude. Do Mikey balls, ticky tack, and that's possible. That has merit.
I think Michael Ball would be fine. I don't know about the other about Agrilepolis, but I don't know Agrilepolis. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I would volunteer as a moderator, but the thing for me is I tend to notice a lot of things that other people don't see, and I don't want to sit there and argue about shit when I'm trying to make judgments.
Well, if you're a moderator, you're not supposed to interject yourself unless it's necessary for the topic.
That's what I'm saying. I might notice like certain debate flaws or something like that. Like I said, usually that sort of stuff degrades very quickly when I'm around. So I'm old enough to know when I shouldn't do something.
What do you mean that my fallacy is not a valid argument, Viking? What do you mean by that?
Oh, I'll moderate. You can judge ticky tack. I'm a much better moderator than I am a judge. So, yeah, I think that's a good point. That actually makes a lot of sense.
I wouldn't mind having Mel on as long as she like behaves according to the rules.
The problem with having Mel on at all is that Mel always makes it about Mel, and you can't change it.
But they always make it about themselves.
That's
so
true.
All of their
but Mel's the only one that I ever have that. Mel's the only one I'm ever around that I'm aware of. So that's my frame of reference.
Well, Imperious always makes it about him too, and but that's just because he's an attention whore.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
I mean, come on. The last time I talked to him, he came in like all high from trolling people on some other place or some shit like that and was bragging about it. I mean, come on. Yeah. Don't tell me I'm wrong. Like, he just likes the negative attention. It's cool. Like, I understand. He's a bit of a masochist.
Yeah. I'm going to start a poll for what? Ticky tack? Full moon tomorrow? That's just even better.
That is one of the things I have noticed about a lot of the debate corners, both on Twitch and on YouTube, is that it is full of a lot of people that just need attention.
Anson can't be a judge. Anson's fucking with you. Anson is not there's no way Anson is not biased. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, that's also kind of my point. I know I'm going to be biased, so that's why I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some people should just man's got to know his limitations and just roll with it.
Yeah, like I said, I just know that I'll probably end up getting into discussions about it, and I don't want to, be a factor derailing something when I'm trying to contribute.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're a judge, you shouldn't interject at all. You just like making your noticing.
Well, yeah, if I'm judging, but I was talking about moderating.
Yeah, if you're moderating, yeah, you can just go 2v1.
Yeah, it's just very I'm very obsessive. And I have like I said, I don't consider myself smart by any means. People tell me I'm smart all the time. I'm just OCD and obsessed with details. And I like to know how things work. So for me, I'm far more interested in like how things tick rather than like how things look.
Yeah. I can see that. So anyway, I think the format's going to be pretty good. Like I said, we'll be tweaking this, I'm sure, for the next month probably. But the first one's going to be really cool. We do have, we have all of the ways to make the game show work. We have all of the. We can basically take any form of payment through between Streamlabs, Cash App, and I don't really want to do PayPal, and probably won't, but can definitely do all the normal stuff. YouTube, Streamlabs, Cash App, it should all work. And the problem is I don't really like the idea. I mean, Cash App is going to have to be something's going to have to go on with Cash App because I want people to be able to see who's doing what. You know what I mean? Like if Emmett wants a 1v1 Ben versus Ticky Tack, then we ought to know that Emmett's the one that did that, right? So I don't know.
Yeah, that is the only. I don't know if Streamlabs have that allow you to do something.
I don't know for sure if it's possible. If you
Streamlabs
got the
lets you
money
know.
for it,
Yeah.
I know the guy that one of the producers of Fresh and Fit is a friend of mine, and he knows how to do a lot of that stuff. So,
well, I mean, I've got pretty much everything. Streamlabs does obviously.
Well, the thing is, what I'm talking about specifically is that in order to get like a third-party app like Cash App, in order to actually show up, you would have to basically write your own code. And that's what you would need somebody to like him that knows how to do. I don't know if it's even possible with Cash App, but if anybody knows how to do it, that's the guy that I know how to do it.
I don't think it is. I think it's I think you might be able to do it with Stream Elements, but I don't know. Stephen Akari, no, unfortunately, when the chat becomes the judge, it becomes a popularity contest, and we're gonna have
Charisma's gonna win every time. Then
we're gonna have a chat vote, but we're gonna actually have judges. So, I would love to get Rob Knorr on as a judge. Maybe we'll do that after this doesn't crash and burn. So,
Well, the big problem with Rob is that it's Saturday and he spends the time with families.
I'm sorry, what?
He says that Saturday and Sunday are like for his family. Like
yeah. I only get to do Friday nights and Saturdays. Sunday is off limits usually. So,
and I think he goes back to work on Sunday, so I'm not sure.
Yeah. Rob would show up if he's off, and Andrew might show up, but it's. I mean, why would he? I don't know that Andrew would care about being. I mean, he'd probably have some fun, but
yeah, I don't know. He might show up. That would be nice.
Who, Andrew?
Yeah, he might show up.
Yeah, Andrew's been busy with everything else lately, but it could.
Yeah, well, he has the. And then Rachel got sick, so it's been dealing with a ton of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. What's up, Grit? What's up, me? Angel Berber. Rob has your vote, but he can't do weekends. Yeah, that's right. And the audience has proven to be horrible for the reason. That reason. Yep. Popularity and wanting chaos. Yeah. No, I think honestly, I would be happy with Tiki Tack, Mikey Balls, and the other.
Agoriopolis.
Yeah.
I just don't know
I'd be
Agoriopolis.
pretty
but
happy
yeah.
with that. You know. Yeah,
Nina.
I'd be pretty happy with that. I don't see any reason to not be happy with that. So, yep. Judges should be anon, to be honest. I don't know. I go either ways on it. I don't know.
She's still Mel's still banned, right?
Huh?
From chat. Mel's still banned from
No,
chat.
Mel has a membership. She's not banned at all.
Is Mel Furby or is it?
Yeah, that's the Furby. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, the Furby is rough.
I haven't seen Kissy Cat today. That's weird. She's usually here.
Yeah, I haven't seen Kissy Cat. She usually is on Friday nights too. She may be working. She cannot always get on when she's working.
Makes sense.
So, yep. No female judges. I agree.
How dare you?
I know, right? I know, but I agree with that. So, I could be convinced, but it would take a lot. Oh yeah, Devin. Andrew may show up. Hey, Kissy Cat shows up literally as we say it.
Speak of the devil.
Literally. Yeah.
Are you gonna be participating, Viking?
Probably not. I don't really like to debate.
He'll just show up.
I used to be a progressive leftist. I've done my fair share of dumbass debates and shit like that. And like I said, I had to be wrong a lot to learn the shit that I know. So that's why I'm just like, maybe the money and stuff too. Like it sounds like it could be fun, but it's not super appealing to me. I'll probably hang out, but I won't participate.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be Saturday night, so.
I'll just tell Andrew what I'm doing. I haven't talked to him in a while. I leave Andrew alone. Andrew's really busy, and I just I think people for some reason feel like I have this direct line to Andrew where I talk to him every day. But that's not the case.
Yeah, well, and he's got like people lined up for fucking months to debate him. So I mean, remember what some of the issues with some of the other individuals that took L's trying to force their way through the line?
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, you know, so yeah, he doesn't really have a whole lot of time. The fact that he stops by so often is actually credit to him, you know, for being social and descending from the ivory tower and hanging out with us small folks.
He also has like a couple of debates coming that he has to prepare for. Um,
Yep.
that's what he's, yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah. So with the thing with Andrew is like when I asked him to be when I asked him to like do the moderate the debate, he's like, man, I don't know. Like it's so, his time is so wrapped up that it's hard for him to even think about it. And so but he thought I was going to do it on his channel and it was going to be like kind of a big, you know, kind of a bigger deal than it was. And I said, no, that's not the case. And basically, since he didn't have to do any setup or anything through his channel, and it was just moderation, it made it really easy. So, but that's the only way I was able to get him to debate on such, or not debate, but to moderate on such short notice. And that's, you know, but I mean, and he could drop by. He could, you know, I mean, you never know. So, you know, Andrew is like the Air Force. He doesn't want to play in the trenches. That's not true. He comes on all the time.
He just got motherfuckers, like I said, lining up. So he tells these guys, like, come on, like, I'll debate you, but you gotta fucking wait in line. There's a whole fucking line, motherfucker. There's a queue. Get in line.
Well,
yeah.
There's like people who have like invited him on shows on debate and stuff like that, and they wait for like a month and they get angry. So he has a lot of people that get angry at him for not showing up to his show or whatever.
Yeah, and I remember one of the times he was hanging out with us, Grid, he talked about how he was literally scheduled out, because this is when the BO situation was happening, and he's just like, yeah, I'm scheduled out for debates for the next like 3.5, almost 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, so it's just like, you gotta have to wait. Waiting a month isn't that big of a deal considering that kind of waiting list. But then again, a lot of people don't really understand this kind of time. Like, I see it with Fresh and Fit and stuff like that. Like, they got even less time than Andrew does. You know, so when guys are like, hey, I got this great idea, Fresh and Fit, it's just like, they don't care. Unless it's a solution to a problem they're having, they literally cannot care because the 5 seconds it takes for them to talk to you about this is actually going to cost them more. That's scary to think about, but when you're playing the game at a high level, that's what it comes down to. You don't want to be stepping over dollars to pick up quarters.
Well, and I mean, I think that, look, there's already a show that does a lot of things that people are suggesting. There's already a show that does that. It's called Verbal Combat, and that's going to happen tonight here. Matter of fact, they're probably starting up right now.
With the what's Speakeasy?
Yeah, Speakeasy, and it's now personally, I think it's a circus show, right? Like, I think it's a, you know, it's very much all chat based, so the chat will the chat can be quite biased. So
yeah. Well, it's very entertaining. It's like the what some people might get offended by this. I hope they don't, because I actually mean it as a compliment. But it's like professional wrestling, right? You're not really invested. The outcomes are not really unbiased, right? You're not going to get like a real resolution or real closure in a lot of these situations because it's blood sports.
Yeah.
Right. It's based on Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat isn't about motherfuckers like winning and the good guys winning all the time. A lot of times the good guys are fucking getting their ass handed to them. Right. So, you know, Shao Kahn comes in, motherfucker, and, you know, knocks him out. So, yeah, that going in with the right expectation, yeah, if you want more blood sport, then you go there. If you want more, like I said, more of the, or like you said, more of the game show style, you'd maybe want to tune into your show. And if you want more of the formal style, then you would want to tune into like one of the more formal debates that Andrew does. So it's like pick your flavor of content, and understand the content you're consuming. That's just me though.
Yeah. So and it's, I don't know. I mean, I think it's, I think there's some reasonable expectations there to hit. And we'll see. I mean, we'll see how it works. I mean, people may not be interested in the format. I just, I don't enjoy that. So I like Speakeasy. I think he's a cool dude. I don't like the format, I don't like that, like for example, Wally, and I, were taken out by was it I think I don't know if it was a solo judge or not, but I've been taken out by solo judges several times, and it's just stupid. Like I don't like it. I don't think it's good for the show.
I'm still waiting for Ben to super chat in $50 to kick me off.
He's not going to kick you off. He doesn't hate you that bad. Maybe later. He'll like you. He'll like you much later. But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a good time. I think that there's definitely there's a room for improvement, if you will, that we'll try and hit, right? Like I mean, I don't even know how else to say it. We're gonna try and get it sorted out and make it something a little different. And if we can, great. And if we can't, it is what it is. But I think I can.
Yeah, it sounds like you got a good framework already, and it's just a matter of putting it into action and seeing.
I'm sure it's going to take us.
Works.
It'll take us months to dial this in, dude. It'll take months, right? The biggest thing.
It comes down to experience, right? Like a lot of people can sit there planning in the workshop, analysis paralysis, but you actually, at some point, you actually got to fire the thing up and get going.
Yeah, Silver Ogre does have a point. 20 to 10 to 5 to
question mark.
10 doesn't actually work out that way, but that's okay. It doesn't work as well. 16 to 8 to 4 to 2 to winner. That's true. And maybe we'll do we'll start with however many show up, but we'll only have 8 actual contestants, right? So yeah, we'll see how that works out. I'm very curious. I mean, like I said, this may take it may take a little bit, right? Like, I mean, I guess the thing you guys have to understand about me, I know a lot of you guys do understand about this, but this about me, but maybe some people don't. I'm never satisfied with things. I'm always tweaking it. I always want to make it better, and I always want to make it, the most refined that it can be, right? So, yeah. So, yep, that's it.
I think it's just to answer Kissy Cat. I think we're gonna do the you can send like a super chat to decide who goes against who.
Is what Tiki Tack, is Biden dead? I don't know.
I mean, he has been dead for a while, just breathing.
Haven't seen him in a while. I mean, could just be missing.
They did say that he was basically not doing so hot with his decline, which was very obvious to most people, but when you get into that kind of mental state, like you could tell when they were like hopping him up on drugs and shit like that. Just like, and having had a grandfather that basically went through very similar symptoms, right? And that's why I kind of recognize anybody who's had a grandparent or knowing anybody with grandparents that's gone through that, like you can see the decline. So you're not going to really hear from him probably anymore because he's probably not doing so hot. He's probably like getting full-blown dementia now.
That is the rumor.
So he's probably just like hanging out in bed a lot. Like, as sad as that is, that's the reality.
In his rubber room.
Who knows?
You conspiracy theorists. He is obviously doing amazing. He's gonna be our next president.
Yeah.
Yep. Good old necromancy president.
Yeah.
Our very next president. Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, that is kind of an interesting question. Like, I'm really wondering, like, they're trying to prop up like AOC and stuff like that. I'm wondering, like, who's going to be their next front runner? Like, with everything that
I think it's
shooting
Whitmer.
themselves in the foot. Like, who's that?
I think Whitmer. Yeah. Before I forget, Kissy Cat, thank you very much for the 5 gifted memberships. I see that Ben finally got a membership, and so did Imperious. Imperious managed to get a membership. Which is hilarious since we're probably get banned soon. But hey, whatever, it's all good.
I think Newsom has a shot too.
Yep, that's
Yeah,
true.
they've ruined a lot of goodwill though with how they're like. Oh, it's kind of funny at this point. Sad but funny.
Sad but true, sad but funny, sad but all of it. So, Viking, are you still operating out of Florida, or where are you at now?
My business is operating out of Florida, but I live in Wisconsin.
Oh, in Wisconsin.
Okay. Yeah, the cold north.
Frozen north. Didn't you guys get snow yesterday?
Not here.
Maybe it's Michigan I'm thinking of.
Yeah, it happens.
It happens.
I got a clip on my Instagram. April a couple years ago, we had snow. So, got a little story of it. I just did a pan around by the pond. So,
yeah. Wisconsin. So have you been seeing what's going on in Detroit with the local police commission or whoever has decided that the SIG P320, which was a approved firearm for a long time, they've said they're now no longer approved for duty carry, and so all the cops have to buy new guns.
okay.
Isn't that crazy? That's
I
nuts.
didn't hear about that.
What?
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy shit that goes on in Michigan. So
yeah,
like Wisconsin's like called the third coast, but then we're like sandwiched between fucking Illinois, Michigan, and fucking Minnesota. Just think about that for a second.
Wisconsin.
That's why I was a progressive leftist, right? It kind of makes sense now, doesn't it?
Do people actually say, "I'm from Wisconsin"?
No, but people always ask about it. That's the crazy thing. I've never heard somebody from Wisconsin say it unless we're like saying Wisconsin as a joke. And people ask me all the time, do people actually say that? Nope, they don't. But everybody asks that. Here's the funny part though, where you will hear that without it being as a joke is from Minnesotans.
Oh, it's Minnesota, don't you know?
It's the Minnesotans that we're stealing the Canadian accent. Don't you know?
That T in there sounds like a D. Minnesota. It's Minnesota. No T. They don't have T anymore. The South took it all.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. I was actually surprised that Grumpelstiltskin didn't pop on or in. But, it is what it is. It's all right. It's okay.
I lived there for a year.
Where,
And
Michigan?
no. Looking at the chat, he said he's from Minnesota.
Oh,
And Noah speaks like that. Yeah, not everybody did, but that's the only place I ever heard anybody speak like that. And it was only the people with like the true, I don't remember what it's called specifically, but that Minnesota accent. I don't remember. It's like from Canada somehow, but I don't remember the fucking details.
yeah.
But yeah. It is what it is, man.
It is interesting.
Now, what you will actually get a lot in Wisconsin, because people don't know this, but like you actually get a lot of like ghetto people and stuff like that, to be honest. That's why I know so much about the hood, because during the 90s, a lot of people were coming up from Chicago, fleeing the gang violence, and then they were going to Milwaukee, and then they were going to Madison, specifically a place called Allied Drive. So that's the hood in Madison, Wisconsin, where people were going to flee the gang violence, but then they bring their brothers, cousins, uncles, and stuff like that with them that would just spread more new gang territory, and that's how we got gangs.
I actually had to go through Wisconsin on my way to Detroit once when we were going to Mosport. It was pretty hilarious, actually. It was pretty hilarious. I had never actually been through Wisconsin before.
I'm curious what part you went through now.
I can't
some
remember.
areas
It's
that
on the
have
highway. We came up through Wyoming.
There's some places that have a lot of hills, and then there's some places that basically have like especially when you get down to Illinois, like it's all flat and corn.
Yeah.
Especially it's just like flat corn.
Yeah.
But you get up north more, it's a lot of woods, pine forest, hills, bluffs, and stuff like that. A lot of good fishing too.
Yeah, we came over, I guess it was 80 that we came over.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was more flatter hills, because that's kind of usually what the two trains you're going to get in Wisconsin.
From Appalachia, the only place where with absolutely no accent, 100% pure English. That's why nobody can understand them. That's why nobody can understand them at all. So, but yeah, it's pretty good. The Furby's actually hanging over at Chris Lestrange's show right now. That's why the Furby is not here terrorizing me. So.
Oh yeah, and Cam the King says, yeah, Wisconsin has a lot of really good whitetails for deer hunting.
Yeah, we have so many deer here. Like literally, like I can walk not even to the end of the block and there'll be freaking deer and wild turkeys. Yeah. I can't believe the sheer number of wild turkeys.
Yep, we heard her. Yeah, the turkeys and the deer are actually major traffic hazards in these parts. So, because one big ass turkey can go through your fucking windshield.
Yeah.
People don't realize that a deer definitely will go through your fucking windshield.
Do you know what's more dangerous than the deer? Horses and like elk and moose. Yeah. Because the deer, you hit the deer and it kind of rolls under the car or kind of rolls just on the hood. But in the, but when you hit a moose or a horse, you just take it out at the knees and that entire rest of it lands like right on the windshield.
Yeah.
It's pretty nuts.
Yeah, depending on the size of the deer, it can be the same thing. But yeah, it's even worse when you're dealing with elk and the moose. Because like when one of the times that there was a deer hit outside my grandfather's and it had all of its legs broken, but it rolled up and completely wrecked the hood, the windshield, and the roof of the car. But we ended up getting it. We got the DNR gave him a tag for it. We got it, and that's how I learned to field dress a deer for the first time. Right. So that was a very interesting, fun experience, but for anybody that doesn't know, that's where you got to get rid of all the guts and, it smells real bad. So,
yeah,
but it's very good to know, but good eating. But that's the thing, like that was a really big buck, but it was only, I think like a 4-pointer, and it just basically totaled that car. So, and that was like a 4-door. So it depends on the vehicle as well. Like if it's a bigger truck, it can definitely handle deer. But if you're talking about a car versus like a moose, yeah, you're probably going to get crushed inside the fucking cab. Like no joke.
Yeah. $5 comes in from Kissy Cat. Haha. That's why I don't go on Streams Grid. Y'all couldn't understand me for sure. I could, because I'm from the South, and I mean the South, and I'm a hill jack, not a redneck. So I could understand you, but I don't know about anybody else. Especially that poor guy from Mexico down there.
I can understand anybody. If I can understand a fucking Indian, I can understand anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm typically the translator. Like, what do you say? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, it's interesting to me. I've got a bunch of I have a bunch of like really interesting stories about hitting things with cars, but not deer. I've never hit a deer with a car. I come awfully close. I had a bird go through my windshield once.
What's the strangest thing you've hit with a car?
Strangest thing I've hit with a car?
Yeah.
Probably that fucking bird. I was driving through the Washoe Valley outside of Reno, between Reno and Carson City. I was driving from Reno to Carson City. And they have such high winds through that area that there's actually a sign that says danger, high winds, campers, RVs, and trucks not advised. Most of the time. So I'm driving through, and I think everything's fine. It is windy, and all of a sudden I see this thing come out of the air, and it just like flies right into the windshield, and it hit the windshield so hard that it pushed it in and knocked the rearview mirror loose. The rearview mirror hit me, and because the last thing I saw was this big freaking owl or whatever the hell it was, this big night bird. That was the last thing I saw. That's what I thought came through the windshield, and I was like, shit, I've got this pissed off bird in here. And so I actually pulled over to the side of the road, like nearly crashed the vehicle, and it ended up being the freaking rearview mirror. But there were feathers and blood all over my windshield. So that was a good time. But I haven't, and I've hit armadillos. I've hit a lot of armadillos. And I hit a dog once, which was terrible, but also, the dog ran in front of the car. I don't know. I've hit stuff with cars. The funniest one, though, this was actually fun. I did not do this. This is something else. So I had we were at Road America. That's in Elkhart Lake. That's in Wisconsin. And so we're at Elkhart Lake for the pro race weekend with the Corvette, the C5R. And since we were doing really well, so the news crew put a TV camera in the front, the back, and inside the car. The front camera they put way down on the splitter, so you got this ridiculous view driving around the track. And now this was live on TV. It was streamed, it wasn't streamed back then, but we would consider it streamed directly to the news van, and then the news van or the TV van then put it on TV. So this thing is like zooming. And I can't remember. I think it was in practice, but I always think it's impractical. I think it was actually the race. So we're racing, and you see this furry thing come running across the track, and then it stops in the middle of the track because it's scared as shit because there's cars going by at 100 and something miles an hour. And in the splitter cam, you see that it's a chipmunk or woodchuck or whatever they call them in Wisconsin. The chipmunk here. And it's just standing there. And so what you think is about to happen, knowing the splitter is there, is this thing's about to get decapitated live on TV by the splitter. That's what you think is going to happen. That's not what happens. What happens is this chipmunk somehow either ducks or was just short enough that the splitter didn't take his head off or her head off. I don't know. I don't know chipmunk sex organs or anything. I don't know. But the chipmunk must have gotten a ride of its life because, this is a full ground effect car. So it's got a splitter, and then it's got the tunnels, and then it's got tunnels all the way back underneath the car, and then it's got the diffuser. So in the rear view camera, you see this thing come flying out from behind the car, do a couple of cartwheels in the air like a paper bag, and then land on the track. That thing got the ride of its fucking life. Tell you what.
Damn.
Guaranteed. Live on TV. Like that was great. So it was pretty funny. Nice. I had $5 come in from Kissy Cat. I visited Jackson, Wyoming, and those crazies were having a funeral for a roadkill moose. That does seem a little on the offside, I must say. That is a little weird. But yeah, so the chipmunk went for the fucking ride of its life at Road America. Road America is great because it's really stupidly fast, and it's just a straight horsepower track.
Nice.
Straight up. Like, the more horsepower you have, the better off you are. So
I haven't really hit many critters, but there was one time I was riding in the back. We had a Chevy Astro van, and I was riding in the back passenger seat, kind of in the middle. We had a deer. We were going down like one of those little backcountry roads. The speed limit was 35. So we're doing about 35. And this deer is on the side of the road. So we slow down even more, going about 25. This deer, as we pass it, decides to run alongside the van. So I'm like looking out the van window, watching this deer keep up with us. And then it proceeds to ram, like steer into us and sideswipe the fucking door and actually like move the van. And then it keeps running, and then it does it again, and then it just fucks off. I actually left a dent in our door, so we didn't hit the deer hit us twice. So that's probably my craziest and funniest and weirdest like non-roadkill story.
That's a crazy one. I got attacked by a freaking deer.
Yeah, first thing I asked the rest of the family, I'm just like, did that just happen?
Yep. That seems like something weird.
Well, that's kind of deer. They're menace. So I've actually some of my Aussie friends, I asked them about kangaroos once. I'm just like, so we got white-tailed deer up here, and these fuckers are menaces, and sometimes it will like crash through your picture window and shit like that. I'm just like, I hear kangaroos are similar, and I got confirmation like, yeah, only they can jump through much higher and bigger windows and shit like that, and do so more often. So apparently kangaroos are even more than a menace than white-tailed deer. Because white-tailed deer can jump about, I think it's like 10 feet. Right? But kangaroos, I think, can't they jump more like 15, 20 feet or some shit like that? It's kind of ridiculous.
Have you seen that video that's gone around the internet of the where, and it's dubbed in, it's like Steve. It's like
fighting the kangaroo.
Yeah, the kangaroo's like drowning the guy's dog, and
the dude that punched the kangaroo?
Dude, like, punches the kangaroo, and the kangaroo's like he looks at him like, the hell, and then he just kind of like hops off. And in the video that where it's dubbed is perfect. It's like, oh, you Steve, huh? Oh, what's up, Steve? I heard you badass. And the dude smacks the kangaroo around like, oh, okay, Steve. I see how. Oh, I got you. I'm gonna go my car and get my gun. Be right back. It was funny. It's hilarious. It's absolutely funny. The best one of the kangaroos yet. We all know that everything in Australia is trying to kill you, especially the animals.
Yeah.
Great. I gotta go.
You gotta go.
Nice.
I'm almost Winchester myself, man. It's about time to. I'm unfortunately I got to end early tonight. My kid's camping at scout camp, so my younger son, my 4-year-old, is I got to go in and check on him. He was okay, and he usually sleeps all night, but so. Andrew B., you live in California? You poor bastard. Dude, I had a house in California for a while. It sucked so bad.
That is tradition for us over at the Fresh and Fit Discord. Anytime somebody says they're from California or Canada, we always say my condolences.
Yeah, dude, it sucks.
It started out where it wasn't as fucked up at first, but over time, with how crazy those places have gotten, like, dude, it's gotten more and more fucked up.
Bro, I sold my house there. So I had a house there that was, I paid $615 for it. I ended up selling it for like $890 or something like that. Like just like so close to $1 million, right? Like so close. And but I sold it because we were renting it for like $4,000 a month. It was about $1,000 more than my mortgage, or a little bit over that. But dude, the property taxes kept climbing to the point where there was so little profit left in renting that house. It was like, why are we doing this? Like, this is nuts. This is dumb. This is dumb as fuck. It looks like I'm going to end up buying 2 businesses, or we're exploring the option of buying 2 businesses, and one of them. The other night I talked about this, how this
the one that he's doing like machinery and.
Well, we're going to buy both. We're going to buy the one that does manufacturing equipment, and we're going to buy the one that does construction stuff, I think. But it's because when we start really digging into when we really started digging into what the reality was behind that company just generates cash, dude. It gets crazy. Like right now, so the part of the and that's part of the reason why it got a higher valuation. So it's $1 million more than what we wanted to pay. But right now, today, it has $250 cash in the company bank accounts. It has $750,000 in receivables. Like that's money owed to them that they're going to collect within the next 6 months. Like today, and that only increases every day. Like every day, they have more jobs done, more work coming in. So, I mean,
sounds like good. Sounds like
we've always liked the business. We just didn't, the problem is right now is that, there's a little bit more risk to it. But that's okay. We'll figure it out. I don't know. But I'm pretty close to pulling the trigger on it. We're going to talk about it this week. We've got to get a real offer, and we got to put a contract in place. But we can. I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Okay, great. I gotta jump off. I just want to say,
jump off, man. Have a good rest of your night. Once you start, if you get me started talking about business, it'll be crazy.
Thank you for having me on. I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Nice to meet you, Viking. Have a good one.
Yep, nice to meet you too. Emmett.
Thanks, Emmett. We'll see you, buddy. Cam says owning a business is shit. It cuts into my fishing time. Absolutely. One of the reasons why we're looking at buying these is one of the businesses will. Well, all right. So one, the owner has been trying to get out. He's been trying to retire. So he basically has it to where it runs itself. He only does 3 days in his office, and he says he doesn't even need to do that. Like he could do 1 or 2. He could come in Monday, come in Friday, and it would be fine. And so that one's pretty much. I'm into it, And then on the other side, I've got this other business. It does run by itself, and so I could, in theory, buy both of them, and still they would be more or less absentee owner, and I could just have management teams. But we'll see.
Yeah, sounds good. Obviously, without knowing more details on the face of it, sounds good.
Well, I mean, it's unfortunately, I can't get too much.
I know, I know. Don't worry. But I'm saying like I'm taking your word for it because I understand your business experience.
Yeah.
So.
Kissy Cat's not a feminist. She's an anti-feminist. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I got to cut out early tonight. Normally I wouldn't, guys, but I've got to go check on my kid. He's being awfully quiet. That's a bad sign.
Yeah. Thanks for having me again.
Absolutely.
I got a podcast tomorrow, and I will definitely tune in to your new show.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we'll start up. Like I said, we'll do the regular show at 8, and we'll just blend into the debate portion of the program around 9:30, somewhere along in there.
All right, sounds good, man. All right, thanks again for having me. Have a good night.
Yeah, we'll catch you later. And we'll I'm gonna send you guys. I was gonna send you guys over to Chris Lestrange, but it looks like he's shutting down. So maybe Powder Dusty is a better bet. Well, let me see if he's on. Don't know who's on. So let me see. Yeah, we'll send you over here to Flow, the Flow man, the state of Flow. All women are feminists to some level. You think so? I think a lot of men are feminist, covert feminist. Crucible just started? You don't say. Let's see. Why isn't it? Fuck it. We'll just go Discord. Not seeing anything. Yeah, there's Andrew's not live right now. If he were live, we would be all about that. All right, guys. I'll pop over to Flows for a minute, but I'm gonna have to bounce off. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great evening. Enjoy your night. Good to see everybody, and we'll talk to you real soon. In the meantime, be cool. Wear glasses if you need them, and get off my lawn. Be cool. All right. See you.